Hello guys, and welcome to a new Star Division 2 video today by myself, Vulcan, and Attack Power.
Hello everyone, Attack Power here, super pumped for the finals, yes!
Yeah, in this video we have for you game 1 of a best of 5 between Yamin and Ghosty in the grand final of the Division 1 Season 11 playoffs of the Star Division 2 League. Today they are playing on Siedlce, and on our left in the red team we have Yamin playing with the 3rd Canadian Infantry and the Maverick deployment type. And on our right, in the blue team, we have Ghosty playing with the 1st Fallschirmjager and the Vanguard deployment type. I'm excited for this one. What do you make of these decks, Attack Power?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always bittersweet. I'm always just so excited for the finals, but then I realize it's the finals, and that means the league is done, and I'm sad. But yeah, divisions here. 3rd Canadian has seen a lot of play this year. I mean, honestly, after 20 bans, this is one of the things still sitting around that people really like. I mean, it's pretty well rounded. The upgrade of the Kangaroo rifles really gave this division a fighting chance. Rumor has it the Bren potentially up for a buff soon. Who knows? And that could really honestly put this division over the top. Some great long-range 2K stuff. We have the 2 cards of the Priest DDs. He's got plenty of 17-pounders and all that good stuff. And then the Priest 105 is, I mean, 3rd Canadian is a well-rounded division. It's actually not bad except for the infantry. And if those get buffed, then whew, this division's going to smoke. On the other side, 1st Fallschirmjager. I'm not a huge fan of it personally. It's got a big chonky infantry tab, which is always nice, but it only has tigers in the tank tab, which is always really strange. You get some Nashorns and Jagdpanzer 4s as well, so an interesting AT tab. The AA is a little bit lacking. The Air Force is quite strong, and the RD is basically just radio mortars. So, it's a 2K division technically, but I don't know. We'll have to see. This is definitely going to be an interesting matchup on this map.
Yeah, tigers are more or less all you need to deal with the 3rd Canadian, so I don't think it'd be too bad, but not having any access to like medium tanks and like lighter tanks is something that is very rough, particularly when you're dealing with these like light cover engagements and such. Anyway, let's have a quick look at what's going down. On the top left here for Yamin, we've got the Assault Pioneer Staghound. Further down, Staghound backed up by a bunch of rifles, defense groups even coming in with these white trucks, which are really nice, fast armored vehicles, Sniper Scouts, Priest DD. Further down, a few Assault Pioneers. We've got the Stormtroopers, Rifle Piat, even more rifles and more Assault Pioneers. And on the very bottom side, it's going to be the Staghound, Sherman 5, Sniper Scouts, Defense Group, a Staghound AA in there as well, Assault Pioneers. Moving ahead, for Ghosty on the top right, we have the MG34 with the PaK 47mm, Panzer Abwehr, couple of the Fallschirmjagers with their FG42s. The FG42 is like a specific designation now, since we can get different types of Fallschirmjager these days. Then we have the MG34, PaK 47, and a PaK 40 even. In the middle, it's going to be the Nashorn with the Fallschirmpanzer Abwehr. We've got the 7.2 SDKZ in there. We've got the Scharfschützers, the NGs, the Stostrup, all moving out. And on the bottom side, a single AT gun to hold the line. Poor lonely fella.
That is ballsy.
The 2 Ulsters coming out at the start for Yamin. That's very nice. Gets his recon up nice and early. I wonder if we're going to see any nice amphibious plays in the centre of the map. I very much doubt it.
That would be fun.
Absolute Chad moves, though.
I mean, Yamin's going to see right away with the Ulster that there's nothing down here. Like nothing. That's an incredibly light play. And the thing is, I don't feel like I don't feel like Ghosty's going crazy anywhere. Usually when you see this type of play, there's like one flank with like an entire massive row of stuff, and that's not really the case here.
Yeah, actually that's very true. There's no one side of the map that's like really gonna have a lot of points put into it. It's just, I think these Fallschirmjager, the Fallschirmpanzer Abwehr, they just cost so much that he's kind of struggling to spread out more. But the Stostrup here gonna be running right into the defense group, Staghound AA. That is a really bad position for them because they do not have smoke. They will not be able to cover themselves off. This Ulster in the meantime on the bottom side is finding absolutely nothing. But most of the infantry did unload, so Yamin's not going to be able to really secure that position very well, but he will be able to move up some of his light vehicles. Meanwhile on the top, those Stostrup, surely only a matter of time till they surrender. Yep, they are taken care of. That's a big mistake.
Those are some of the best units in this division. They're definitely your best CQC, but they're actually just some of the best units. So to lose 2 of those for nothing right off the bat is actually like kind of backbreaking. And an early 15-9 here for Yamin. And also, Yamin's on Maverick and Ghosty's on Vanguard. Like, Ghosty's supposed to be the one here to take an early lead.
Yeah, the Sagittario coming in there, making sure that that recon plane goes down. Nicely done. This MG34 up on the hill is managing to find the rifles Piat out in the open. The top side of the map will be very well secured by Ghosty with these FG42s. The rifles of Piat there will really struggle against those unless Yamin can get his fire support in line of sight, that Priest DD, 2-inch carrier and such. But at the moment, yeah, things not really going anywhere. Yamin just trying to secure as much ground as he can on this bottom side. I'm surprised he hasn't moved as further up. But this Stormtrooper, yeah, holding the extra flags, pushing those tickets in Yamin's favour early on.
Pack 177 here took out the Staghound AA, which is a nice little pickup there as well. And yeah, Ghosty finally bringing some Stoßtrupp and Sturmpioneer here. But he's not actually going for this hill that this Stormtrooper is like freebie capturing right now. He's going deeper than that. Kind of surprising.
The SDKFZ-72 gets taken out by the Brens. That is really unfortunate. That's a lot of Brens though. 6 Brens in total between the 2 defense group and the rifles Pia, making actually short work of that SDKFZ-71 which lacks armor. The Fallschirmjager ZF now fighting back. Those things are a beast at range with their dual MG42 and a Kar 98. So one of the defense groups gets melted, the other one falling back. Rifles Piat trying to keep line of sight so the priest can get shots on there. And that priest is actually doing a nice job harassing those units in those buildings.
Oh yeah, that's been huge. Otherwise, these would have brick-walled every single unit that came in. Priest DDs are phenomenal. They're honestly one of the best support weapons in the game. At only 40 points, getting a 2K unit like this with double 50 cal on top of that. And amphibious, because why not? Thank goodness they only show up in 3rd Canadian, because they are actually crazy good.
Yeah, massive value for money. And he was using the fire position there to make sure that he could fire through the buildings, because it's likely that the MG34 could not be directly targeted in that situation. 2-inch mortar carrier on the universal carrier, going to be used to harass the Fallschirmjager, but nice snipe there from the Pack 40, takes out a white truck. Meanwhile, further down, the Sherman 5 under fire from the 47, but that 47 is going to struggle to get through the 100 mils of front armor there.
Yeah, I never underestimate these Pack 177s. They can, because their fire rate is so fast, they end up penning a lot more than it feels like they should. But overall, this should be an easy fight for the Sherman 5.
Stormtroopers just took out the FG42 on the hill there. That was really bad trade. Those Stormtroopers only 15 points. The Fallschirmjager 35 points. The Sturmpioneer Stoßtrupp though managing to make some ground further up, and the Fallschirmjager with the FG42s have managed to get across the open and capture the flag up here, but it's still 16-8. Ghosty's bleeding a lot for a Vanguard deck.
Yeah, and it doesn't even feel like he's trading super well at all. And again, this is where the weakness of Fallschirmjager divisions comes up, is every unit has to get a ton of value or you are not trading well. Like, you're just losing a ton of value. It's really hard to stay positive using this deck.
And here comes the Spitfire, looking for a bombing strike, but actually kind of whiffs there.
Yeah,
doesn't do much damage at all. But the Sturmpioneer Stoßtrupp, look at him go, just absolutely slicing up this Commonwealth infantry. The rifles Piat running for their lives. The 2-inch mortar carrier trying to get some shots on target. Yeah, really nicely placed.
Yeah, he even like predicted the forward motion there. And these 2-inch carriers, just like all 50mm mortars, are absolutely disgustingly good if you are good with them. And these top tier players are, and it makes them such good weapons. They're actually incredibly obnoxious.
Yeah, he's even turned off the Bren so that it doesn't like unnecessarily fire there. I think in this situation, like having the Bren on probably would have been a good idea, because they came into line of sight briefly. But the Fashion Panzer Abwehr going to sneak through, get the Panzerschreck on target. That will be going down. And the rifles Piat routed to the light cover.
Killing 50mm mortars actually makes me so happy because they're so good. They really are. Like, it's not even an exaggeration. Whenever I see one, I'm like, they must die. Kills the Oster. There you go. Now there's 2 more down south making a run, but there's some sort of AA, isn't there? No, it's just the 50 cals of the Priest DD.
Oh, that Sagittario is hunting for a double kill down there. But this Sherman 5 is slowly making progress with the double rifles Pia and the Assault Pioneer through this town. They are going to bump into the Sturm Pioneer shortly. The Sturm Pioneer preemptively smoke the road, or was that the Assault Pioneer smoking the road?
It was the Assault Pioneers smoking the road.
Because that seemed to have been in favour of the Shermpires in this situation, because it stops the Sherman 5 from shooting down that road. But the Sturm Pioneers still being forced back, as they don't want to get outnumbered.
It's an amazing little building micro, watching both these players hop these units back and forth.
It looks like there's just too many numbers for the Sherman Pioneers, and he's keeping the Sherman 5 close, so that both of these rifles do have that 2 veterancy, taking significantly less damage. That's going to be the end of those. Sharpshoots are trying to remain hidden in that church. It'd be unfortunate for Ghosty to lose that position, because it does provide a lot of information over the center of the map.
Yeah, absolutely. 17-pounder in on the Nashorn.
Oh, first shot.
Lands a hit.
Yeah, very nice indeed. Nashorn falling back now. Won't get a chance for a second shot. But the 105 might go for a shot here. It's interesting to see these priests be used so much. Yamin relying on these both times we've seen him play this division.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a ton of ammo, so like calling it an A makes sense, because you can basically get all the way to C phase without ever reloading it. And I mean, with radio, they are solid. I mean, what's their fire rate? It's 6 rounds a minute, which is not bad for a gun of this caliber. It's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst. It's not like the German 105, the French gun, isn't it? FH, whatever it is. Those are terrible. Whatever the 105, it's really bad. It's like one of the worst arty pieces in the game. And every German division has it. Up north, the Pack 177 trying to finish off that Sherman 5. It does not manage to. And the 6-pounder sneaking in to try to take out that Jagdpanzer 4, which is a serious threat against 3rd Canadian.
Yep. These Jagdpanzers are very, very tanky. The main way he's going to get through those is with Achilles or Fireflies. And I don't actually, he doesn't have, do you have Achilles in Canadians? I don't even remember.
Yes. No, he does not. Wolverines. Firefly, and I mean, the APCR on the 6-pounder could do it as well.
True. But the ME 410s coming in there for the bombing strike onto both of these rifles, but yet were spotted by the sharpshooter, which remains alive in the church there, completely hidden. No recon for Yamin in this position, so the sharpshooters are not going to get spotted unless the infantry walks right on top of that sniper. Nashorn in a good position to stop this Sherman 5 from really moving any further forwards as well, so he's kind of managed to blunt that attack. And over time, with the stormtroopers taking care of finally on that hill, things have now moved back to 12 to 12.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, in my opinion, the most key position on this entire map is up north on the edge of the hill overlooking the ravine. You know, that flag right there in this hill, because once you get that, it cuts off red side's reinforcements to the center of the map completely, and it's actually really hard to get back into the game if you lose that hill.
Yeah, currently it's not being completely contested, but Yamin's going to have to make sure that he reinforces it for sure. He's got a couple of rifles Piet moving up there. Meanwhile, we haven't really seen much movement on this bottom side. Ghosty really getting away with this single AT gunplay. And it's still amusing to me, because we did see the recon plane come in, right? So,
and it flew around. Like, it's not like it was there for a quarter second. It did several loot-the-loops and apparently still didn't notice that there was nothing there.
Yeah, so Ghosty managing to kind of feint Yamin quite well at the moment. And the Fallschirmjager ZF now coming in too. Line of sight of those rifles on the top side. Oh no, they're moving still as well. That's going to be absolutely curtains for those. Oh, and a transport snipe there from the Tiger Jagdpanzer combo. Takes out another unit of rifles in the process. That's really bad news, because those Fallschirmjager, they're not going to be the best at close range at all. But
they're better than rifles Piat are.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. Well, the ones with the FG-42s are. I thought they were both.
Yeah, the FG-42.
I thought they were both ZFs, but only one of them was.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Ghosty does recognize the importance of this hill on the map, because he is certainly, there's a lot of resources deployed here. The problem is he's having a hard time getting into these woods, and that's one of the big issues with first Fallschirmjager. They don't have very good CQC. After you get through that card of Stolstrup, which is not that big, Your infantry are pretty... Your CQC is really lackluster after that.
Amphibious play, but it's going to be shut down very shortly as this priest DD is under fire from the Nashorn.
It's
been forced to fall back, but will die in the water. Yeah. Maybe not.
Oh my god, really?
Nashorn.
I wanted to see it die in the water.
No, and the Nashorn got sniped by the 17-pounder.
Oh. Wow.
What is that?
What happens if they die in the water? Do they sink? I want to know.
I think they do sink, yeah.
No, then we missed that moment. Oh, RNG. We did not deserve that.
ME410 coming in with the bombing strike, clean bombing strike onto the 17-pounder. Very nice indeed. I don't think there's really any A on this bottom side, so it should get out absolutely fine. Fallschirmjager, meanwhile, with a grenadier, moving in to clean out this town. And that Nashorn is in a real weird spot now because it was much better off up on the hill, covering the Sherman 5. And now the Sherman 5 is a bit more free to move. We'll be able to move onto the road here and help out with these engagements potentially against the Fallschirmjager. House hopping might allow these Fallschirmjager to get a Faust on target though, so Yamin looks like he is aware of that. He is trying to move it back slightly. And now Ghosty falling back. Oh, there's some interesting movement going on here.
Weird. I'm trying to figure out why, because the smoke's actually almost helpful for him at this point to dodge the Sherman.
While he was focusing on that, he lost the Stoss troop in their transport on the top side. Another one of those really important close-range units going down. The other one did get unloaded early. Does at least manage to clean out an assault pioneer, but really in a bad position to be using that. And yeah, wasteful of what is a very, very important unit to this deck.
Yeah, and we have to note too, we're now into B phase. Like Ghosty's advantage is over. Like this is now Yamin's world for the next 8 minutes, and even once we get to C phase, yes, Vanguard has more points. It's basically negligible in terms of an advantage.
And considering how much Ghosty's lost in the first phase here, even under Vanguard income, the disparity moving into phase B is probably pretty large with the income that's going to be following up, but Yamin needs to be really careful here. He's really lucky that Kangaroo didn't get sniped again before the Kangaroos unload the Kangaroo rifles there. And the Kangaroo rifle's still going to get pinned down in the process. He needs to get rid of this 47. That would be an easy target for the 105. And then if he can keep these Jagdpanzers at bay, that would be fantastic too. But a nice kill by the Wolverines on the top side. Do clean up one of those Jagdpanzer fours.
Well, and there's only 2 to kill, so there's not much left to deal with.
Got the one in the mid left. Priest DD has been taken out. 17-pounder taking a shot. Oh, it was so stressed. It was so stressed and it still managed to hit. Jagdpanzer dead. Tiger E getting revenge, but that is a nasty, nasty strike.
Yeah, that's not worth it. You don't have that much armor in first Fallschirmjager. And again, I don't get this division. I want it to be good, but it just feels so lacking in so many tabs.
Yeah, and I think it only suits specific maps. I feel like this one is not really one of them. It's sort of a map where you kind of want to have more medium armor for these like top and bottom sides, and you can see that he did almost completely neglect the bottom side, and he's opted to go for the 2,000 meter range engagements in the center, which kind of makes sense. But on this top side, it does mean that he's struggling to push forwards because he doesn't really have that cost-efficient medium tank engagement capability.
Yeah, and it's like this. I personally actually really like this map because there's a lot of different play styles, right? There's a lot of forests, there's a lot of yellow forest, a lot of green forest, there's a lot of open ground at the same time. There's a lot of choices of where to push on this map. It's not like many of the maps where there's like, oh, you always push here. That's the way to go. That's the best push. This map, you can do it a lot of different ways. I don't agree. Like the only map I kind of like first Fallschirmjager on is basically Slutsk Westish. Slutsk-ish, that's about it. I think
it works well on like Tannenberg as well.
Yeah, I guess. Well, you're missing a lot of CQC though again.
Well, you only need CQC for the middle.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Tannenberg. Sorry, for some reason I was thinking of Cell for a second. I was like, not sure about that.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't work on South.
No, I was like, I'm not sure about that one.
It would struggle a little bit there. But now we see the Population coming in with some extra reinforcements on this top side. 3 Fallschirmjager with the FG-42s and the Fallschirmjäger. I mean, if there's one thing that this division does get in abundance, it's these Fallschirmjägers with FG-42s. So he's going to have to get as much value as he can out of those because he's struggling to get value out of everything else right now. These bombers have been relatively free as well.
Yeah, this 105 we commented on has done a lot of damage. We saw it kill at least an infantry squad earlier. It's about to take out this Pack 40. I think it took out the 170s, the Pack 177. Maybe the infantry did that, I'm not sure. Tiger up close and personal here in the center. Will it finish off that Sherman? It will not.
And now Wolverine engaging the Nashorn. It looks like they traded shots there. Sagittario picking off another one of those recon aircraft, and the bomber of the ME-410 really not hitting the mark. I'm not a huge fan. Oh, that was a bomb.
Ooh,
beautiful
I'm a fan
bomb.
of that one.
yeah. The two 250s really doing work there. The M5 or the M4 Sherman going down. A couple units of infantry. Very nice indeed. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of these ones with like 8 50-kilogram bombs. I feel they're okay for dealing with support weapons, but anything else, they just don't seem to do any damage.
No, they're too light otherwise. It's tolerable, but not anywhere near as good as the heavier versions of it.
So a big push here on the top side. Look how many kangaroo rifles are moving through there. An absolute swarm of men going to destroy the Fallschirmjager FG-42. Tiger E does finish off the priest in the middle, at least. So that's a kill back for Ghosty, but he is going to be losing this position. The Tiger E Führer, SDK has a 7.2, Stoss Trooper, all going to be falling back. He's got to be careful of these Piets, even if they are inaccurate.
Yeah, I just always assume they're going to hit. I don't know, it always feels like they do in the clutch moments.
If they're not in your hands.
Yeah, well, yeah, if someone else is using them is what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking, I assume they'll miss on my side. I'm assuming they never miss on the opponent's side. And the thing is, Ghosty are burning through Tigers like he's got a ton of them. He really doesn't. He has 5. And I'm pretty sure this one coming out up north is the 5th. I mean, we've seen them. There's one just died in the center.
Yeah. The 17-pounder there claiming one of them, that's for sure. Now this Tiger under Piet fire is going to go down as well. The first one missed. The second one hit.
Well, when you got 3 of them, I would think one of them's going to hit.
The likelihood is that one of them should hit. Unless you get severely unlucky. And now Ghosty's Fallschirmjager is pushing extremely deep up here. Do manage to kill off the stormtroopers at least before they throw any of their ordnance. But the Fallschirmjager on the edge there unnecessarily going to get pinned down by the main gun of 50 cows.
Yeah, Ghosty's position now all of a sudden really tenuous up north, even though that's where he put most of his resources. Yamin just cracking back really hard, and the whole town fight. I mean, Ghosty almost had that in hand, and now everything's dead.
Cheeky Wolverine play here. He's fire positioning these 2 Wolverines onto the position of that Fallschirmjager, even though he didn't have line of sight. And he's going to be able to pin them down.
50 cals pin with like they gotta somehow have a large area of suppression. Like an RD gun.
Well, the Falchion Pioneers that were coming in to stem this kangaroo push has not done very well. The first squad getting forced off. The triple Bren really doing well. And you were talking about how they might be buffed in future, the Brens.
Yeah,
these
that's
could
what I'm
be
saying.
super scary.
No, this division's going to be terrifying. Do you remember back in the days, Vulcan, of 3rd Canadian being like the meta deck?
Yeah, that's because of off-map though.
Well, it could be returning because of their new Giga Kangaroo rifle unit.
Well, the ME-410 there getting a successful strike in, chunked that Kangaroo rifle squad with the two 250-kilogram bombs. So nicely done. MG-42 or MG-34, sorry, coming in the center with an MG-216. Interesting to see those being used as well for extra MG support.
Yeah, Ghosty has a lot of MGs, actually. He's got 3 cards of MGs.
Yeah, he's probably using it to supplement the sort of lower availability he gets on his more elite infantry.
I suppose, but his infantry are good at long range, so I just wouldn't think you need more support at long range, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and he does have the Os Legionnaire in his deck, so that kind of gives you numbers where you might need them.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 88 and remember, you have the Grenadier MG42s as well. Like, you have plenty of junk infantry in this deck. Not like you don't.
It might be just so that he can still play the game into the late game, right? As soon as we hit phase C here, a lot of these sort of cheaper units become a lot more valuable because it allows you to bring in multiple of them at each tick still.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, this top side is really starting to look slim.
Yeah, Yamin's only at a 13-11, but things definitely looking... I'd be sweating. Let's just say I'd be sweating if I were Ghosty right now.
Absolutely. 17-pounder manages to get a nice snipe onto another hostage there. The semi-410, I think that's probably the first one that didn't manage to get its strike off, so these both are starting to actually work for Yamin here.
Down,
and it does have one vet, so plenty of time on target. Down it goes.
Yep.
Big kill, actually.
Yeah, there are only 4 ME410s to kill, so that's pretty big loss, actually.
What's going on this bottom side? Let's be honest. Like, there's been no movement from Yamin whatsoever here, apart from using the Wolverine to try and kill the Nazon.
I'm not going to judge Yamin for this because this is exactly something I would do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I'm going to ignore half the map for most of the game, but don't expect the best players to do it.
Yep. I would 100% sit here like Yamin with like an overwhelming force and just think, there's no way I'm getting that flag. There's no way this would work. Just sit there with them all.
The other interesting thing is Yamin has this commander in the middle, really far up. He's got, like, his rifle leader is behind his commander.
Wow.
So that's an interesting play as well. Another Bofors joining us in the middle. In the top side, more Kangaroo rifles arriving with an artillery leader. Those are going to be 3 Veteran C Kangaroo rifles. That's actually going to be gross at the sort of mid-range. These Fashion Pioneers, though, at close range, should be able to still take care of them.
Oh, the push, it's happening. It's happening,
Vulcan. There it goes. We're off. Finally, Ghosty's going to have to reinforce this bottom side. First thing on its way is the Fallschirmjager ZF. Those ZF actually are going to be super scary for these units coming across the open here. They're moving up.
I don't know. It's 6 Bren rifles and a Staghound. I don't actually think this is going to take long.
I don't know. The Fallschirmjager ZF, right? They're going to
awesome.
really start pinning a lot of this infantry very, very quickly.
I think there's too many of it. It's splitting its fire too much. That's the problem.
It is. It's not being microed, so it's not managing to individually pin down each unit. The best thing to do in that situation is to manually target each to be pinned first, rather than let it automatically target the one that has the least, or sorry, yeah, what is the least
suppression.
Yep. The least suppression.
Yeah, he's not even retreating it. Like, he just hasn't seen. He hasn't actually. I don't think he's actually noticed how bad this is.
Yeah, this could really kind of turn the tide for Yamin. Well, I say turn the tide. He's already ahead, but.
Seal the deal. Let's say seal the deal here.
Yes, indeed. Seal the deal is probably the better term, as the mortar does manage to take out the AT gun, which is going to allow the Staghound to freely roam forwards. There is not really any AT here to stop him, other than the Fallschirmjagers. Actually, the Fallschirmjager ZF don't have AT either, even though it says that they do.
Yeah, that's a visual bug that maybe, just maybe, might get fixed in this patch. That just maybe might come out sometime this year.
Well, Staghound AA is moving up to try and pin down as much of this infantry as possible, and that will be able to surrender these really quite expensive units. These are 40 point. Actually, no. Yeah, they are 40 points. The ZFs. The Fallschirmjager FG42 is also getting pinned very quickly. 35 points for those. Wolverine gets a side shot onto the Tiger E as well. Everything is just not going well. The Tiger E actually missed its shot. This is bad news for Ghosty. Well, at least the Tiger manages to finish off the damaged Wolverine. Staghound's not finding the Fallschirmjager ZF. Fallschirmjager FG42 do manage to Panzerfaust the Staghound. So maybe things didn't go quite as bad as they could have.
There's not actually that many flags down here. Like, I understand what Ghosty's thought process was. There's only 2 flags to lose down here, and he was already losing the one, so he was just kind of like, whatever, I guess. He's still only at 13-11, I suppose. I mean, his play in the center has still held a lot of this. Somehow the ME410 still almost getting stopped. Oh, because it's a Staghound AA. No duh. Forgot it's an AA gun, like weapon here.
Yeah, but its 50 cals have run out of ammo, so no way for it to stop the ME410 from bombing itself, which is kind of sad. But yeah, we're losing the armored vehicles there actually means that these Fallschirmjagers are somewhat viable again against the rest of the infantry in this scenario, in this area. So the Fallschirmjager will potentially be able to take back that flag and kind of equal things out once again.
Yeah. Opinion, Vulcan. Do you think they should buff the Tiger a little bit? I think it should be buffed to 6 rounds a minute on its rate of fire. That is my opinion on the situation.
Or you think it should be buffed in rate of fire?
Rate of fire. It fires too slow. It's painful.
They should just give it 2,100 meter range.
Oh, we're not getting into that sticky wicket. That's a never-ending thing. No.
I'm just moving.
It should fire 6 rounds a minute like almost every other tank in the game does.
I just think they should make it more accurate. Like,
well, that would be nice too. Either one of those
would be
nice. It fires too slow to miss its first shot all the time.
Yeah, but the reason it misses its first shot all the time is because of its low base accuracy. But this Spitfire there is going to get shot down. The Sagittario managed to get away with it, so that's nice. A good kill. ME410's coming on the bottom side. Nothing to really stop them down here. No AA. So whilst the rifles Pia didn't get pinned, they are still being told to fall back by Yamin, which means that Fallschirmjagers will be able to take back that position. So whilst those bombers didn't do anything, they did make Yamin fall back, and now they're going to run into some MG fire as Maxim's getting on target.
And this is one thing I do appreciate. Yamin is like my idol of play. Like, notice he is so far ahead, and he's still not really pushing all that much. He always prioritizes trades. Like, Yamin always prioritizes getting better trades over getting territory. And then he'll flip it in like the last 10-15 minutes of the game. I love that about his play. I really do.
And I mean, in this situation, he's so far ahead on tickets, he can just quite happily sit on the at 12-12 and he'll still win.
Yeah, but there are plenty of players at this point who would be like, pedal to the metal, let's win this thing. And he's in no rush. I respect that. Because I'm just a worse version of this. I'm doing this while behind.
I'm definitely an aggressive player, I would say. I think it just makes me lose really fast sometimes.
Gets the game over with real quick.
Yeah, indeed. Well, the Assault Pioneer is managing to hold on to their position. He has them off auto cover, so they are hiding behind the building, but the Fallschirmjager FT-42 are going to move forward to clean them up. And that's the flag back in favour of Ghosty. He's going to be 13-11 soon if he manages to get back the hill flag where his sharpshoots are. For now, the rifle leader, they have been switched out for the commander. So now those troops trying to move forwards and secure those flags.
He's trying to earn the respect of his men.
Absolutely. Too much more to carry on the bottom side in use to harass these German pioneers. The beauty of a 50mm mortar in this situation.
It's so good. It literally allows you to win every single infantry combat no matter what.
Yep. Indirect fire and then just run forward, surrender. Easy.
Oh. And the thing is, there's like almost nothing you can do about it. It really is like the only way to kill a well-hidden 50mm mortar is to like arty it, and that means spending a lot of resources to kill what is generally a 20-point unit.
Another Priest DD going to be falling in the middle to the Pack 40. That's kind
Only 6 more to go.
Yeah, he's still got plenty of those left. Now we see Ghosty bringing in the 105s, the artillery pieces for direct
fire. He's bringing them for direct fire.
Kind of interesting.
He's bringing them really deep. I'm not sure what that is.
They're only 4 rounds per minute rate of fire, so I mean, a little much. They're not going to be able to do too much.
He stopped him. All right, we made the right choice. No, they're fast. Aren't they faster when they're in direct line of sight? Because that looks faster than 4 rounds a minute.
Oh right, yeah, possibly.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure of that. But
I'm going to be honest. I've never used them in direct line of fire, so I wouldn't know.
I haven't, but I've seen people do it. Like, and people have mentioned it. Like, the best use of this weapon is direct fire support. I'm like, oh, okay. My first reaction is never to put my artillery piece in direct fire support. Like, that's never my first reaction.
Ooh, another bomber going down. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But the 105 did manage to kill off the 17-pounder covering the mid. So that potentially will free up space for 2K engagements. But as you mentioned before, like Tigers, or Ghosty's lack of Tigers, might be hurting him quite a bit here.
Yeah, I mean, he had more cards to bring in, so I'm a little surprised he didn't. I mean, he could have dropped one card of MG34s, I think, and probably fit in more Tigers this time.
Yamin going for the bombing strike on the top side does lose him a Spitfire, as he does absolutely no damage to the Os Legionnaire.
Yeah, there's only one of those left, because he's already lost one, and there's only 3 in the deck, so almost done with the air support. He is moving that Geb 105 way up again. Like, he wants that thing up in the front, and it's currently 13-11 for Ghosty. Will he catch up on a 13-11 here? Very maybe.
He's going to have to find a 15-9, I think, because...
I think so too, but I'm not 100% sure.
I think Yamin would be just ahead by the end of the game, maybe.
Barely. Yeah, it'll be tight. It's too much to risk only having a 13-11, essentially.
Yeah, he's going to want to make sure that he can get the win with the 15-9, because those tickets really don't look like they're moving that fast. But on the top side, the triple vet Fallschirmjagers are slowly working their way through this infantry.
Yeah, on the hill here, the Tiger's suffering from hill pressure in the center, and we see 2 80mm mortars now in as well. So we'll see if those can break the center. That'd be pretty huge. We see a Firefly in up north as well to counter the Tiger that's now revealing itself and doesn't know how much danger it's truly in. Oh, he fell back the Firefly right at that moment.
Yeah. Well, the Tiger managing to get away with that one for the time being. Fallschirmjager on the top side going to lose their extra veterancy with that Fallschirmjager falling back, or the Fallschirmfjordas falling back, sorry. We've got more Grens coming into the center. Things really starting to slow down quite a bit here, although...
Wolverine takes out the Tiger up north on a side shot. That hurts a lot.
It's gone. That's another one. Bites the dust. We're down to the last one, right?
I think suffering currently. Oh, he's finally moving it.
Oh,
we do see
middle,
a push.
The Nashorn went down to the 17-pounder. Another 2,000-meter range unit going down.
These Gep 105s are doing a lot of work. The mortars were going after the Bofors, I believe. And we do see a push down south here from Ghosty. Seeing if Yamin can survive a counterattack here. Yep.
So this is actually a really good idea sometimes. Is when a player goes all in on one side of the map, or not necessarily all in, but attacks you on one side of the map, it's quite often a good idea to push back on the same side of the map, because if you've managed to deal with all of the units they initially brought into that attack, they might not have reinforced themselves sufficiently, and you can make a really nice counterattack. So that's what Ghosty's trying to make use of right now. Pushing forwards with the Fashion Pioneers to clean out the close range, bringing up the Fallschirmjager FG-42s behind to make sure he can win this light cover engagement. His mortars, meanwhile, could take out the Bofors, so he can bring in the bombers potentially. We'll have to wait and see.
Do you see all the reinforcements coming in here? There are what is that? 15 Grenadier, 15 Grenadiers coming in.
That is a lot of infantry to be bringing in. And 2 Falchion Pioneers added to after that, on the next tick. So he was sitting on like 3 or 4 minutes of income there.
Yeah. Okay, well that could balance the scales a bit here. There's so many coming in that they're still coming in. There's that many. It's like they've been prepping for several minutes now.
It's 12 so far. 13. 14.
What? The heck?
That's a lot. 15. And the Falchion Pioneer. And the Falchion Pioneer aren't cheap either. They're like 30 points a pop.
No, yeah.
And the Falchion Maker's enough. There we go. Boom.
I guess this is it. Like this is the this is the push, I suppose.
Yeah. ME410's coming in with the bombing strikes. Oh, manages to clean up the Firefly 5. Very nicely done with the 50 kilogram bombs as well. Pack 40 in the middle did go down up there. But we'll have to see if these Grens can really make ground here. I mean, they're going to be all pushing out in the open. So it's going to be easy, I would say, for Yamin to shut this down. Especially with the Kangaroos. Those 50 cows will keep these Grens pinned at range. And there's not really much to stop these Kangaroos from pinning all of his infantry. It's only just really this one Tiger. There's no other forms of AT other than maybe the Fallschirmpanzer. But this Kangaroo, you can see, is running down the Oscillationair in the open. Again, nothing to stop them. Can the Tiger get the shots on target? I don't think it can.
No. And that slow rate of fire, it's absolutely backbreaking on this unit. It's even double vetted, and it still feels ponderously slow.
Yep, and the Kangaroo just ignoring both of the shots that fired its way. Both the Oscillationair being pinned down and surrendered, and Yamin's taking back flags freely.
That feels so cheesy, I'm not gonna lie. That's the same with like a half-track thing. Just like running down units like that with a half-track feels so bad.
On the
but Ghosty's got his 59.
Yeah, on the bottom side are making progress. They're killing the Kangaroos with the Panzerfaust. Now the Fallschirm Pioneers coming up as well. Although the attack move here is going to mean that they do not get in range of those vehicles. Fallschirm Pioneers killed in their transport are going to take some extra damage. But yeah, this is actually somewhat working in the center here. There is a huge salient growing, and you mentioned the 15-9 for Ghosty. That's definitely going to start bleeding back some of this points, but that bottom side, that's a lot of pinned units. It doesn't look like Yamin has noticed, so there's not going to be any chase down there. Ghosty's going to get away with it. There are units everywhere, though, that are pinned down. MG42 Grens right next to the Sherman 5 and Kangaroo. The MG42's up on the hill with the Fallschirm Scharfschütze, all in trouble right now. And meanwhile, Yamin really just putting the pedal to the metal, pushing through on the top side with all of these Kangaroo rifles, just decimating the front line in that position.
We see another blob up north now coming in, a bunch of Grenadiers. Now the question is, are they for defense or for attack? Because they actually kind of need to be for defense here.
Yeah, you can't get too far ahead with these. And again, there's still really not anything to stop these Kangaroos from doing a lot of damage and pinning a lot of these troops. Meanwhile, in the middle, the Priest DDs are in a really nice position to start shooting some of this infantry, but I don't think it has recon, so it actually is not. Bombing strike is going to come in from the Spitfire. Clean kill there.
Ooh, that hurt. Another push here down south. The Pioneers are going first, which is actually the right choice, so the FGs 42s can just keep walking. And since there's no infantry here, they shouldn't stop. Oh, Kangaroo falling back. Yamin does notice.
I don't think that 50 cal can pin down 5 units on its own, but
I think the 50 cal can do anything.
It's going to get backed up to the edge of that forest. Kangaroo rifles are coming up, but I think the Panzerfaust gets on target here, surely.
The grenade's definitely gonna.
Oh, the Staghound AA coming back. Okay, it doesn't save the Kangaroo, but the Staghound could really put in some work here, unless these Fallschirmjager get into deep cover quickly, which they're trying to do, and the Kangaroo rifles won't be able to stop them because of the Fallschirm Pioneer there. Same further up, Field Engineers now going to be trading with the Fallschirm Pioneer.
Ooh, not a good trade. Well,
almost
actually the Pioneer did okay, yeah. 14-10 again. Ghosty needs that 15-9.
Yeah, I feel like Ghosty's kind of being very desperate right now with his plays, and I think it's, as we mentioned, he needs the 15-9 really to secure the victory. But then again, maybe if he takes the foot off the pedal now that he had 15-9 for a little while, it might be enough. With 9 minutes remaining, maybe he'd end with just enough tickets ahead, but he's kind of in a position now where he needs to commit because all of his infantry is like so exposed on this map.
He's very overextended. I mean, he had to be. I'm not saying any of this was the wrong play. It was just kind of the play he had if he really wanted to go for a win here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. He's managing to dismantle the infantry on the bottom side, but the kangaroos, again, just being a big problem. And the thing is with Yamin is he doesn't even need to unload the actual infantry. Because there's no AT that's going to really be a problem. Nice kill by the Panzerfaust onto the Staghound AA, though, as it tried to retreat on the bottom side. So that's going to give him a bit more agency down there.
Well, I actually don't think there's any AT left at all. Like, there are definitely no more Tigers. I think the entire AT tab is dead. So I actually don't think there is a singular piece of AT left in the deck outside of a Panzerfaust.
In that situation, Ghosty, all he can do is just try and play around the heavy cover and hope he doesn't get pinned and surrendered. Like, that's literally it.
He has no way to kill this kangaroo sitting on this flag that's holding him back from the 15-9. This Tiger in the center is literally all he has left. Although it does not... There's a 17-pounder. I was about to say, are there any more 17-pounders? The answer is, of course, yes. Of course there is.
Yeah, the one up on the hill. Trying to get on target. Just about manages to do so. And boom, goes the Tiger. Oh. Lovely kill. Now the extra Grens coming in the center. 16-8 as Ghosty secures the hill flag against the kangaroo rifles. On the top, though, yeah, things are getting pretty wild as the Sherman 3 is just deciding to keep charging forwards, pin down the Grens, kill them off, but now the Pupschen firing away. That's AT. That will do the job, as long as it manages to get a shot on target. And there we go.
It does. Kangaroo's still a problem, though. He's got no way to kill that either if the Pupschen doesn't reload and shoot.
Takes a little while to reload there. At range, this thing only has 40% accuracy, and it's now being pinned by that 50 cal, so it's in a bad spot. Now, also, the other thing with those Pupschens is as soon as you know where they are, you just avoid them like the plague. So, Yamin not going to go anywhere near it.
I mean, it's still 15-9. This is still very much... I mean, if Ghosty holds this, he definitely wins.
Yep, it's still all to play for. On the Ghosty's sort of gambit here might pay off. We'll have to wait and see if these kangaroo rifles, or even like a bunch of field engineers, can maybe come through here on the bottom side. Nice kill from the Pupschen.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like the guy from, if you ever seen the movie Step Brothers, and he's talking about the Catalina wine mixer. Boom. Steel Division 2 finals. Boom.
Yeah, it's getting tense now as we're getting close to the end of the game. 6 minutes left on the clock. 17-7 for Ghosty. Will definitely be ahead in tickets shortly, but will it stay that way? It's going to be really up to Yamin and all of these kangaroo rifles to clean up a lot of this infantry that's managed to penetrate the front lines.
He's just going. Fallschirmjager's running across the field out down south. He's piling them down the hill here.
Just look at this, like, Priest DD just running down these men with the 50 cal. Yeah. 2 more surrenders in the bag. Another Grenadier out in the open. Let's go get that too. Thank you very much. Kangaroo Rifles surrendering the unit up on the ridge that got hit by the 50 cals as well. Priest DD now has line of sight on a lot of this infantry, so they're going to get hit. And these Grens just can't do anything. They don't have AT, they don't have like the Hafgeladens, they don't have Panzerfaust. They can kill them because they're open top if they get close enough. But
yes, I was gonna say you can yeah. They can very specific set of circumstances. But it's an unlike. Now this push in the center, if he finds that commander, we'll grab him another flag here.
I think this field engineer is just going to blow up half of these units, and the assault pioneer kind of cleaning up the other 2 Grens on the top side. At the 100-meter range, that flamer against a 1 MP40 Gren unit is not going to do very much. Well, he's going to do a lot, sorry. The Gren do manage to finally clean up the field engineers. Looks like they'll kill those off, but the commander is going to be backed up by another Kangaroo rifle.
I do think Ghosty's out of troops. We have a Battery Fear running in. We see an 81 mortar coming in that, at this point, has very little utility. We're back to a 15-9 again for Mr. Ghosty. Oh my goodness gracious.
Yep. It's not actually very long at all until these tickets go over in Ghosty's favor. So then Yamin has to make the play back. Pupschen revealing itself here on the bottom side. Only has 2 health. The Humber Mark 3s should finish that off. Down it goes.
Oh no!
And that's going to be the last of the AT, significant AT at least on this bottom side. Only the Fallschirmjagers with their Fausts left. Grenadiers at close range versus Kangaroo rifles, not going to do too well on the top side. The Kangaroos still pushing forwards, absolutely unimpeded by any form of AT. These 105 though in the center manages to clean up one of the Kangaroos with its HE.
I mean, the flags just flipped, so this is absolutely anybody's game. Now 13-11, only one. We're back to a 12-12, and they are freaking neck and neck. I can't tell who's ahead.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. They are actually completely neck and neck on the tickets here. I think maybe Ghosty is slightly ahead if I like use my mouse to try and line it up, but yeah, this is kind of crazy right now. Anyone who gets ahead of the other will be the victor in this situation, and at the moment with Yamin's half tracks running all over the place. Oh, this commander snipe.
Oh, this kangaroo. Again, this whole half track running through the whole front line thing is so cheesy to me. I hate that so much. Such crap.
What is this front line right now? Like,
I mean, the front line, it's not a front line. It's still.
So I'm just looking at it, like zooming out. It's like a modern artwork.
14-10 now for Yamin. Only 2 minutes remaining here.
Yeah, Yamin now ticking back in his favor, and only got to do that a little bit longer. Yeah, these planes are definitely taking advantage of the lack of AA right now, that's for sure. But Yamin actually just lost his little pocket on the bottom side that he had.
He just ran up now with his kangaroo to get the mortars right here.
Oh yeah, there's just nothing is safe in this game right now. Both of the 105s in the center at least were dealt with. On this top side, the kangaroo rifles have been holding really well. The Beobachter at close range, trying their best to kill the kangaroo rifles. That's crazy. It's just everything everywhere. Gren's in the back line, making little salients, but yeah.
And Yamin on a 15-9 now.
The armored vehicles have really just sealed the deal.
Too many. Yeah. And I think I would have to guess that Yamin counter-picked Ghosty here, because 3rd Canadian does stack up pretty well against first Fallschirmjager because of the fact they have so many just vehicles all over the place all the time.
What a game though. For game 1 of this best of 5, this has been actually awesome.
Yes.
Both
it's the freaking
players,
Season 11 finals!
both players taking their decks to the max. This is, yeah, incredible stuff, incredible stuff. This is exactly what we want to see. Ghosty going to be throwing in the towel, has nothing left in the tank. 49 minutes, 25 seconds. And Yamin takes game 1 of this best of 5 with a negative KD. 4,235 kills, 4,615 losses. I would not have imagined. I would imagine it was 50-50 by so close at the end there. But to be behind like 400 points, that's crazy.
It did not feel that way at any point. I think those attacks at the end actually were killing a lot more troops than it looked like they were. Like it looked like he was just grabbing tons of territory, but I actually do think he was killing a lot of units, cleaning up a lot of stuff. I think he waited way too long. I think Ghosty waited way too long to call in the mortars. They did so much work at the end of the game. I feel like if those had been in much earlier, he actually could have really done a lot of damage with those. I thought he was out of the game. Honestly, when we were at like 25 minutes, 30 minutes, I was like, this game is over. And then like it was not at all.
yeah, no, I totally agree. And the 105s in the sense did a really, really good job. One of them actually got a Sherman 3 and a Sherman 5 with its HE rounds. That is
freaking skills.
Pretty incredible. I mean, both of those units can't fire at the 105, right? So the HE is just like free firing at 2,000 meter range, while the Sherman 3 and Sherman 5 struggle to get their shots on. That's kind of crazy. I did not expect them to be so effective at close range like that. I was just expecting them to come in, sit in the middle, get pinned down in like 2 seconds, and just get
die.
Killed. Yeah.
To a Priest DD. I was expecting a Priest DD to just come up and like, see ya, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
And like I feel like one more card of Tigers would have won Ghosty this game. I really do. Like by the end of the game, if he had 2 or 3 more tigers to work with, I just feel like what was Yamin going to do at a certain point? Like he was almost out of 17 pounders, and there's really not much else that could have stopped them. I don't know, but that was a game.
What a game! What a game! Well, that's it for game 1 of this best of 5. Looking forward to the next one. But that's it for now. Anything you'd like to add, Attack Power?
It's the freaking season 11 finals. Boom!
All right. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.